Once again, good to see you all. Welcome to this evening's session. We've got just an hour or so to explore a little bit of breath-based meditation. So I invite you to start, first of all, with your eyes as closed as you want them. There's always an invitation to have the eyes completely closed and also to have them half opened, or you can have them fully opened and just gently gaze ahead of you, sort of taking the gaze peripheral, so you're just kind of looking into space in a soft way. And those three options are always there. So it depends on how you feel in your body, how you feel in your life, what's going on, as to what feels right. And you can also change that through the course of the practice. So you can move in and out of those different eye gazes. You can begin with your hands on your belly if you want to. It's a nice way to begin. And just pay attention to the breath exactly as it is without changing anything for the first few minutes, like we often do. Just the core practice of breath awareness. It brings you into a deep kind of embodied sense of exactly how things are. A place of embodied presence. And again, the consistent invitation here is to continuously notice and pay good quality attention to the nuances of the breath. So we're not doing anything to the breath, not making it longer or shorter or faster or slower. Not pausing it. Neither are we eradicating any pauses. We're not making it completely circular or any other geometric pattern. We're simply paying attention. Really good, high quality, detailed attention. In fact, the principle here is that as we progress with the practice, we pay more attention, not less. We find new depth, new beauty, new clarity, new potency, and greater levels of joy in the breath. So in the beginning, the attention can flit around, jump around like a crazy frog. And as we practice over time, it gets easier and easier to land the attention on the breath successfully and completely. I know when I go traveling and go on a plane, I always respect those pilots that can bring that plane down effortlessly. It touches the tarmac in a gentle, gentle glide. And it's quiet. There's no bounce, there's no jolt, you're just down. And you're learning how to do that with your mind. Just bring it directly onto the breath with a softness and a grace. And it stays there until you want to move it. It talks a lot about how this cultivates neural bridges between the different parts of the prefrontal cortex, between the frontal cortex and the limbic system. It gives us stronger links, more option, choice. Here we can really understand and listen into the physiology. One of Dr. Peter Litchfield's fabulous sayings, which I love, is physiology is psychology. There aren't two things. They're just two different lenses on the experience of being alive. And here we're cultivating and growing a window with which we can see into our own state really clearly. So our lives don't get hijacked by the physiology. We can rest in as much choice as possible. And choice begins here with awareness. And awareness begins with breath. We're not judging the breath, we're just noticing. The breath is responsive to all our perception. Just as physiology is psychology, so psychology meets physiology. Physiology is breath. Physiology is the breath. The breath is the window. It's the magic key. So we can sit and just notice if it's a little fast. Maybe. There's a little hunger there. Maybe. It's okay. We're not judging it. It's just noticing how it is. How is it to be this livingness? How is this experience of being alive right now? Feeling into the belly. And the belly's responsivity to the breath. Maybe you've still got your hand on your belly. So what we're going to do now is start expanding those nostrils a little bit more, give a little bit more energy to the flare of the nostrils. And if you've been doing this practice, maybe they're already doing that a little. But then flare them a bit more, come into the wild breathing that bit more. And as you do that, that's going to slow the breath down. You need the tongue resting in its natural, innate position, which is just behind the roots of the top teeth. That's where the tongue naturally rests in a human being. And as you breathe in, maybe feel that bit more expansion in the belly. If you've still got your hand there, feel that breath, feel the belly breath. And as you breathe out, just relax on the exhale. If there's any natural breath holds arise, it's maybe at the end of the out breath, then just let them happen. Cultivate that full 360-degree belly breath now. So feel like you're breathing into the back of the body and the front of the body. Sometimes it's nice to feel like you're breathing into the back body first. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes it's nice not to. Because these differences, these variations start to give you an increasing level of literacy in terms of how you can use the breath in your daily life to remain in as optimal state as you can. It's demanding times to stay in an optimal state. And you can do it. It's kind of more important than ever that we remain in an optimal state in demanding times. And we're going to put a little micro hold at the end of the inhale and the end of the exhale now. It might be 2 seconds, it might be 4 seconds. You know what feels right at the end of the inhale, the end of the exhale. Trust your body in terms of the judgment that naturally arises, in terms of discriminative choice that naturally arises from the body with the breath hold. It might be that one is slightly longer than the other. And each of those micro breath holds, just relax so fully into them. And what the breath hold can give you is a sense of complete relaxation on demand. We're looking for this incredible sense of peace that can occur in the breath hold. It's like the nervous system just stops for a moment. Don't force it. Doesn't want to happen, it's okay. So you might miss out, it might just not occur on one breath, but it might occur on the next one. As you come into this slightly extended breath, with the breath hold at each end as appropriate, as your body decides, listening deeply. Continue to listen by taking your attention out into the audio web around you. So you're engaging with the environment around you through the dimension of sound. You're finding awareness in the body, with the breath, with the movement of the body, with the breath holds. You're finding awareness in the circumferential orb around you through the dimension of sound. Finding this internal awareness. You're finding it. You're not looking for it. You're not creating it. You're finding it. It's already here. Awareness in the body as the body, the breath and the movement. Awareness around you through the dimension of sound, like a circumferential orb of awareness. Wherever and however far this orb reaches. Create a little protective cocoon with your mind, your heart. Just a moment to create a permeable, protective cocoon around you. It's an imaginal event. But it gives you the space now to drop a bit deeper. You're creating what some people might call a sacred space, or a space of safety. Your mind. All around you, every direction, above and below, in each direction, this orb. Letting yourself drop into this space more and more fully. So only that which is benevolent, beautiful and good and true can rest in here, can reside in here, can enter into here. Whichever breath hold feels most comfortable, whether on the end of the in-breath or the end of the out-breath. That is absolutely fine, whichever one it is. Just tune into which one feels the most comfortable. When you've located that one, we're going to go into a triangle breathing. Yeah, it was an easy rhythm to start with. So we're looking to find the cadence, the rhythm that works for your body to begin with, and then we'll start extending it. So find the effortless cadence that works first of all. roughly equal inhale and exhale, and roughly equal hold, whether the hold is at the end of the inhale or the end of the exhale for you. If you need to change it at some point, then change it. The formality this evening is partly an informality. It's in curiosity and it's exploration. And start to make the breath as slow as you can, as long as you can, as light and soft as you can. No judgments on this at all. We're not into the place of judgment on what's happening, on what one's capability is. That's an unhelpful mental event. If that happens, just notice it and focus back on the breath. Don't give it any attention, except for noticing. The innate quality of the breath is incredibly blissful, profoundly joyous. So steady. See if you can slow it down a little bit more if possible. If it's not possible, it's absolutely fine. Stay with it. Extend those breath holds a little bit if it's possible. Make them that little bit longer if it feels good to do that. Remember, we're looking for a certain degree of effortlessness in the effort. So finding that balance place, that sweet point between effort and effortlessness. Just instantaneously now, let go of any control of the breath and come back to breath awareness. Wherever you're at in the breath cycle, just let it drop straight away and find a new normal, whatever the body does now. Resting into presence in the body, as the mind, as the heart. The electromagnetic field, as the totality, as everything. Utterly connected, seamless and whole. The more you can relax into the field in peace, the more we do together this relaxing into peace, the more peace is experienced. Together. Now, find peace. Emanate that into and as the totality, inseparable. In a moment, we're going to go into alternate nostril breathing. So again, you have choices as to how you do that. Hand positions, you can do 2 fingers on the brow with the finger and thumb in place. You can do it like this, with the hand below the nose with the thumb and the middle finger. And you can do it alternate hands. And if you're really switched on nostrils, you can do it just with the muscles in the face. In the practice with Tom Granger in Mexico, he didn't believe that I could do it, and he tested me. And it's possible to utilize these muscles, you train these muscles enough to be able to open one nostril independently and close the other one and then alternate like that. And it's all good, whichever one you do. There's nothing more righteous or better than anything else. We are where we are. We're working with what we're working with. It's all beautiful. So put your hand up. If you're working with your hand, and we're going to begin by breathing in. And again, you have a choice. Which nostril feels right to breathe in through first. You exhale first, exhale, and then begin an inhale on whichever side feels right. And trust your decision. Implicitly trust it. For me, it's the left. And again, we're going to slow down that inhale as much as possible. Whichever breath hold you did before, we're going to do a breath hold on the inhale now. Hold that inhale breath hold for as long as possible. If you want to energetically close the throat, you can just drop the throat slightly and you can gently squeeze up the pelvic floor on the breath hold to contain the energetic quality of the breath into the belly. So just down between the belly and the heart here. Sense of containment. Then just release the neck as you breathe out through the second nostril, whichever one you're breathing through. And see how long you can make that exhale. It's going to change. It's going to fluctuate a bit. We're not looking for mathematical precision. We're looking for feeling. At the end of the exhale, we're just do a 1 second breath hold. Squeeze the tummy muscles in a little bit. Squeeze the pelvic floor up a little bit. Just feel that pulse in the pelvic floor and the base of the belly. And then breathe in through that second nostril. Long and slow as you can. We can lengthen it over the next 10 minutes of practice. It's absolutely fine. We've got plenty of time, so it's no urgency. Absolutely none. And then come into the breath hold. And again, extend that breath hold for as long as feels right, as long as feels comfortable. And then extend the exhale again. With another 1 to 2 second hold. At the end of the exhale, just squeezing those tummy muscles in, squeezing the pelvic floor up gently. And then initiating the inhale from there. Remember the breath hold you can do by just lengthening the back of the neck, dropping the chin slightly, drawing the pelvic floor up a little to energetically contain that quality, that feeling, into the center of the body. See how much you can stay focused on the practice. Really, really go for it. You're doing really well. Most people can manage about somewhere between 20 seconds and 2 minutes of practice before immense distraction occurs. Between 20 seconds and 2 minutes is average. And you've already done 37 minutes of practice. See if you can stay steady, stay present, stay focused. Focus and clarity and the presence you create in the practice will weave into every single moment of your life. The evidence we have is that this breath increases blood flow alternately to the different left and right frontal cortices, increases the sense of connection and balance between them. Creates an embodied sense of balance and internal peace as well. Just another 4 minutes of this practice. Steady. Remember, you can move between those eye positions if you want to. There's a tradition in some of the Tibetan schools of meditation practice. You keep your eyes closed or almost closed until your mind is completely quiet, until there are no thoughts, no conceptualizations. And then you can open your eyes and gaze, like in the Zen tradition. If those conceptualizations start to occur with the eyes open, you just close your eyes again until they shut down again. So you're training your mind in non-conceptual, non-referential awareness. You're not creating any stories out of the sense fields. Resting in awareness. Resting as awareness. Resting as awareness takes us into a place where there is no objectification. If there's no conceptualization, no referentiality, there's no objectification. All warfare relies on objectification. Evolution of humanity is dependent on the capacity to find non-conceptual, non-referential awareness as a base level experience. You're doing it now. You're contributing to the evolution of humanity by simply practicing. The more you find it, the more you emanate it. The more you emanate it, the more other people feel it. Relax the breath. Just relax the breath again, come back into whatever the body wants to do. And if you want to, you can lie down, you can sit, or you can lie down. You've done really well tonight, staying with the practice for such a long period of time. You've done long, steady, disciplined practice. Well done. So lie down if you want to. We've got 30 minutes of practice time left, roughly 25 minutes, something like that. So you can either sit or you can lie down. Make a choice. Stay watching the breath, stay in awareness of breathing as you move. And tongue behind the top teeth and create a smile, really beautiful smile. Feel the muscles of the face soften and relax. Feel the lips soften and relax as you come into quite a large, beautiful smile. Spread the nostrils and breathe that smile into your brain. And on the exhale, just let go, melt, 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 and let go. And we're simply going to repeat this now. Breathing the smile in through the flaring nostrils, gently flaring nostrils. Breathing it into the brain, into the pituitary, into the hypothalamus, into the pineal, the amygdala, the limbic system, the thalamus, all the parts of the brain. And just stay breathing that smile into the brain. A couple more breaths. We're simply cultivating a reasonably high serotonin and endorphin state simply from breathing. And we're going to breathe that down into the throat. See if we can carry that feeling down into the throat like a flood, an overflowing state. Staying with a smile, breathing it down past the ears, to sides and the back of the throat, into the front of the throat. It reaches into the skin and all the way in. You can let it overflow into the chest, the lungs and the heart. The pericardium, the wrapping layer around the heart, the wrapping layers around the lungs, the pleural membranes, into the ribs and rib spaces, the rib muscles, all the way through the bones and skin. The whole of the chest is flooded more and more and more with every breath with this smile energy, this serotonin endorphin state. Bringing a sense of peace and joy to all the internal organs, one by one. Right now into the lungs and the heart, the bones, the skin. You can. And then reach into the shoulders. Start cascading down the arms. Allowing the arms to melt on the exhale. Soften. All the way down to the fingertips. The forearms, through the wrists, through the palms, through the back of the hands. So the head, the ears, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the throat, the chest, the shoulders, the upper arms, the elbows, the lower arms, the wrists, the palms, the fingertips are all flooded with this smile energy. And softly slide the tip of the tongue along the roof of the mouth. Very softly. And then reach back as far as feels comfortable. Let energy cascade down through the diaphragm and into the belly. Cascading down into the belly, down into the pelvis, down into the pelvic floor. The belly and the pelvic floor. And into the hips. Begin to flood it down the legs. Long, slow, steady, full inhale. And release on the exhale, flooding the smile energy. High serotonin, high endorphin state through the whole body. Down to the knees. Down to the ankles. Down to the soles of the feet. Whole body. Crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Crown of the head to the fingertips. Crown of the head to the soles of the feet. Soles of the feet to the crown of the head. Whole body. Like the whole body is breathing bliss. And so it leaks out around you. Into the space. around you. Let yourself float like you're floating in outer space, smiling, laughing. And let go of the breath again. Let go of any control over the breath. Just come back into body breathing, body doing its thing. For the next 5 minutes, you can do absolutely nothing. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just let yourself rest, let yourself drop. Completely letting go. Nothing to do. Just letting go. Letting go of everything. Just for now. As you bring your attention back to breathing, draw your attention back into breathing. Just gently scanning the body from top to bottom, bottom to top. Noticing how it is. Very softly for the next 3 or 4 out breaths, do a little humming practice, a humming breath. Couple more breaths like this. Put your hands on your body if you want to, on the belly, chest. Couple more breaths like this. Slow, full inhale through both nostrils. Honoring the very most best, the very best version of yourself. Honoring all of you as well. Honoring your tenacity, your courage, your dedication. Gently open your eyes if you want to. If you want to stay just quietly resting, depending on the context of the situation you're in, you can do that. And if you want to come up to sitting, then you can do this too. Well done. Well done. Have a restful, pleasant evening. Whenever you can over the next few days, do a few minutes of conscious breath. Sit down, go into a coherent breath, 6-6 breath, 6-12 breath, something of this kind. Spread those nostrils wide. And let your inside of you find a state of peace, bliss, joy. Simply because you can. Because you can. And when you can, and you do, it emanates. Be well. Have a beautiful evening. Thank you so very, very much.